Katisar.
Yeah, Katisar, yeah.
Yeah. Did you go on the boat?
No, on the boat no. We saw.
This way I can feel fit. And there is a gym where you can practice karate, dance, bodybuilding.
My name is Paolo.
Paolo, nice to meet you. My colleague.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hello, my name's Erica Brady and I'm the manager for Trinity's Integrated Skills in English Examinations, or ISE. In the next 5 minutes or so, I'd like to tell you about the 3 main components of the ISE examinations. The ISE examination tests learners' ability in reading, writing, listening and speaking. There are now 4 levels of ISE available: ISE 0, ISE 1, ISE 2 and ISE 3. The oral components of the exam correspond to these levels in Trinity's graded exams in spoken English. ISE 0 is equivalent to a grade 4. ISE 1 is equivalent to a grade 6. ISE 2 is equivalent to a grade 8. And ISE 3 is equivalent to a grade 11. You're also probably familiar with the common European framework levels, and this is how the ISE exams relate to the CEF. Each ISE level consists of 3 main components: a portfolio, done in class time or as individual study; a formal written examination taken under strict supervision; and an oral interview with the Trinity examiner. This usually takes place at the candidate's own school, college or place of work. Stage 1, the portfolio. For each of the 4 ISE levels, there is a list of portfolio tasks published on the Trinity website. Students or teachers must download the set of portfolio tasks from the website, appropriate to the ISE level they're working on. Please make sure that you select tasks for the current year. Each level consists of 15 tasks divided into 3 categories. Students write as many tasks as they wish and then choose their best 3 tasks to appear in the final portfolio. There must be 1 task from each category for the examiner to mark. Students should begin on their portfolios as soon as possible. They can work on them right up until the day before the examiner arrives to conduct the oral interviews and mark the portfolios. Teachers do not mark the portfolios, but give feedback by using a checklist like this, which you can find in the handbook. Based on this information, students should be encouraged to review their work and produce an improved version for possible inclusion in their final portfolio. But before the Trinity examiner arrives, there's one more important step to complete. Stage 2, the controlled written examination. From the Trinity website, you can choose the date to suit you and your students to do the controlled written paper. There's a date available every month. As soon as students sit this exam, the oral interviews must be completed at the latest by the end of the following month or about 6 weeks later. Let's have a look at an example. You can find full details of the exam procedures in the ISE syllabus and handbook. Stage 3, the oral interview. Let's have a look now at what happens on the day of your oral interviews. Remember, your students have been working on their portfolios and by now they've chosen their 3 best pieces of work ready for the examiner to mark. They've also done the controlled written examination. When the examiner arrives at your school, all the portfolios should be ready in a pile in timetable order for the examiner to begin marking before he or she meets your students. The final 3 portfolio tasks should be accompanied by the feedback forms you have completed for each of the tasks. You should also include a portfolio cover sheet. When the examiner has marked the first batch of portfolios, he or she begins the first round of oral interviews with the students whose portfolios have just been marked. At every level, the oral interview begins with a presentation and discussion of the student's topic.
Can I have your topic form?
Yes.
That's it.
This is my topic form.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to talk about dance. This
Yes,
is your
sir.
passion.
At every level, during the conversation phase, there's a brief discussion of the portfolio with the examiner.
So, how did you find doing the portfolio? Was it interesting?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Was it difficult?
Other tasks also take place depending on the level. At ISC 0 and ISC 1, the examiner concludes the interview with a conversation on one subject area taken from the ISC syllabus.
Okay, Clara, what must I do to be healthy? What would you advise?
I think that if a person is healthy, can live longer and better.
ISC 2 and ISC 3 also include a candidate-controlled interactive task, and ISC 3 additionally has a listening comprehension task. Of course, you can find full details of all of this in the ISC syllabus and handbook. When all the oral interviews are complete, the examiner fills in the mark sheets. The teachers in charge of the examination session then meet for a short feedback session with the examiner.
I can be very brief because, first of all, let me say what a delightful set of students they were, and what a pleasure it was to meet them. They were very, very nice young people, and I really enjoyed meeting them. Yeah.
But also my students have been very happy about this examination.
Good.
And
The examiner doesn't talk about individual students, but makes general comments on how the group has performed as a whole. Teachers are told where the group's strengths lie. The examiner may make suggestions about how things could improve next time round.
Groups together into
The feedback session is intended to be constructive and supportive for all involved in the teaching and learning process. The examiner finishes the session by handing over the report forms for the interview. The results of the portfolios are not released during the practical session. Candidates are informed of the portfolio marks later as part of their overall result. Because Trinity carries out quality control checks on its examiners, your examiner will ask for a random sample of portfolios to be photocopied. These are sent back to London for monitoring by the Chief Examiner and the academic team. I hope this brief overview of the ISC examinations has helped you gain a better understanding of what they are and what is involved in organising an exam session. Please refer to the syllabus and handbook and don't forget the website. Follow the ISC links for tips and tricks and downloads of past papers.